A very good day to our database system and information retrieval lecturer Dr. Sunaria Utama and our friends. We are from group Momo Mong and we are going to present about our group project. And these are our team members. The first one we have Chairis and Lucky Pom. Second we have Muhammad Irfan. Third we have Wacharak. And the fourth we have Tan Suchin and lastly me Gurmit. And now I will present our initial ERD. And this is our initial ERD. Our initial ERD is before we done the three normalization stages. And from our initial ERD, we have four tables. The first one is the supplier. In our supplier, we have the supplier code as our primary key. Then we have a supplier name, supplier address. Then we have a GSTIN. Then lastly, we have email. And the second table, we have the purchase order. Then we have the PO number as our primary key. Then we have a supplier code as our foreign key. Then we have PO date, e-work, payment date, payment mode, payment terms, freight charges, subtotal, discounts, grand total, bill to, and ship to. And then we have our PO line table. And in our PO line table, we have PO number as our primary key. Then we have product code as our foreign key. Then we have quantity, rate, tax, and amount. Then we have our product table. In our product table, we have the S number as our primary key. Then we have a product code as our primary key. Then we have product name and HSN code. So from here we can see that the relationship between these tables, supplier supplies the purchase order and the purchase order contains the PO line and the product appears in the PO line. And after this we will move on to the normalization stages.
My name is Charis Alakipum and I would like to talk about the normalization process walkthrough from 1NF, 2NF, and 3NF. I will continue the process walkthrough into the Excel in the next slide. So I will continue the normalization from 1NF to 3NF. The first normalization is table purchase order info. To make this normalization, we must make sure that the table has the one atomic value on the single cell. So we begin with the supply code. The primary key for this is the supply code VNDB104, and the other attribute is supplier name, supplier address, supply city, supply postcode, supply GSTIN, supplier email, PO date, PO number, e-work ref, freight charge, payment mode, payment term detail, bill to address, bill to city, bill to postcode, bill to GSTIN, bill to email, ship to address, ship to city, ship to postcode, ship to GSTIN, ship to email, item S number, product code, product name, HSN code, quantity, rate, tax, amount, subtotal, discount, grand total. So this is the first normalization, and we will move on to the second normalization. So the second normalization is we must remove the partial dependency, and we'll begin with the table purchase order. The primary key for this table is PO number 2024 FO12, and it has the attributes with PO number, e-work ref, freight charge, payment term detail, payment mode, subtotal, discount, grand totals, and the supply code is the foreign key to the other table, which is the table supplier. So the table supplier primary key is the supply code, and the data is the BNDB104. And the other attribute is supply name, supply address, supply city, supply postcode, supply email, supply GSTIN. And the third table is the table purchase order item. The primary key for this table is item S number, and it has the data from 1 to 7. And the other attribute for this table is quantity, rate, tax, amount, and the PO number and product ID is the foreign key. PO number is referred to the table purchase order, and the product ID is referred to the table product. And the table product primary key is product ID, and the other attributes for this table is product name, HSN code, product code. And the last table for the second normalization is table delivering shipping address. The primary key for this table is DS address ID 1 and 2, and the supply code is the foreign key to the table supplier, and the other attributes for this table is postcode, address, city, delivery type, GSTIN, delivery shipping, email, delivery shipping. And the third normalization, uh, we must remove the transitive dependency. So the transitive dependency is GSTIN delivery shipping and email delivery shipping, because this data is depend to the supplier code. So we must separate the data into a new table. So without further ado, the first table is table purchase info purchase order. It's the same data, same table as the 2NF, same as the table supplier. Table purchase order item, same as the 2NF. Table product, same as the 2NF. And this the difference is the table delivery shipping address and table delivering shipping information. The table delivering shipping address, the primary key is the S address ID 1 and 2, and the foreign key is supplier code VNDB104, and the postcode is the postcode and the address, and also the city and delivery type. This is the attributes for this table delivery shipping address. And the final table for the 3 and F is table delivery shipping information. The S information ID, supplier code, foreign key to the table supplier, and the attributes for this table is GST and delivery shipping and email delivery shipping. So this attribute is depend to the supplier code. So we remove the transitive dependency from the 2NF, and it is valid for the 3NF process of the normalization. So this is all from me. Thank you. So this is the 3NF, the final table for the normalization after all the 1NF and 2NF. So the first table is table info purchase order. It has the PO number as primary key and the all data in there, and also it has a supplier code foreign key. And the tables for the next table is table supplier. It has the primary key of supplier code with NDB104, and it has the attributes supplier name, supplier address, supplier, supplier postcode, supplier email, supplier GSTIN. And for the next table is the table purchase order item. It has the item as number as a primary key, and it has the quantity, rate, tax, amount, and PO number and product ID is the foreign key from the other table. So the next table is table product. The primary key for this table product is product ID, and the attribute is product name, SN code, product code. And for the next table is table delivery shipping address. The primary key for this table is DS address ID, and the foreign key is supplier code, and the other attribute is postcode, address, city, and delivery type. And the last table is table delivery shipping information. The primary key for this table is DS information, and the foreign key for this table is supplier code with NDB104, and the other attribute is GSTIN delivery shipping, email delivery shipping. And the result of this table delivery shipping information is because of the remove the transitive dependency from the TNF. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Dan Sujin. My Matric number is 304250. And now I'm going to continue our presentation on the final ERD. This is our final ERD, and we have 6 entities. The first entity is supplier, which has the supplier code as the primary key, and other information about the supplier such as supplier name, supplier address, supplier city, supplier postcode, supplier email, and supplier GSTIN. And the next entity is info purchase order. Info purchase order has purchase order number as the primary key and other related information such as subtotal, discount, grand total, and so on. And it also has supplier code as the foreign key. And the relationship between info purchase order and supplier is that supplier has 0 or more info purchase order, while info purchase order has only one supplier. The next entity is delivery shipping address. Delivery shipping address has delivery shipping address ID as the primary key and supplier code as the foreign key, and other related information such as postcode, address, city, and delivery type. The relationship between delivery shipping address and supplier is that supplier has 0 or more delivery shipping address, while delivery shipping address has only one supplier. The next entity is delivery shipping information. Delivery shipping information has delivery shipping information ID as the primary key and supplier code as the foreign key. And the relationship between supplier and delivery shipping information is that supplier has 0 or more delivery shipping information, while delivery shipping information has only one supplier. Next entity is purchase of the item. Purchase of the item has item serial number as the primary key, while it also has purchase order number and product ID as the foreign key. And the relationship between purchase order item and info purchase order is that info purchase order has contain one or more purchase order items, while purchase order item has only one info purchase order. And the last entity is product. Product has product ID as the primary key and other related information about the product. And the relationship between product and purchase order items is that purchase order items references only one product, while product references to one or more purchase order items. So this is our final ERD that based on 3 and F.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Irfan bin Muhammad Zaki, hold the Matric card number 303800. So I will continue the presentation for the relational model. So for the core entity for this relational model was the supplier, which is we store the data for the supplier code, supplier name, supplier address, supplier city, supplier postcode, supplier email, and the supplier GSIN. And we will set the primary key for this table was the supplier code, which is contain a unique and strong. So for the next one was delivery shipping information, which is contain the data like DS information ID, supplier code, GSIN, delivery shipping, email, and delivery shipping. So for the primary key, we set the DS information, and the foreign key we set the supplier code that we reference from the supplier's table. So the next one was info purchase order, which is contain the data like PO number, PO date, EWA ref, freight charge, payment term details, payment mode, subtotal, discount, grand total, and supplier code, which is for the primary key. For this one was PO number, and it will also reference to the supplier table and have a foreign key supplier code. The next one was delivery shipping address, which is will contain the data for the DS address ID, supplier code, postcode, address, city, and delivery type. And for this one, we set the DS address ID as a primary key and also reference to the supplier table and contain the foreign key supplier code. So the next one was purchase order item, which is contain item SNO, quantity, rate, amount, text, PO number, product code. And this one, the primary key was item SNO. The foreign key was PO number that we reference from the info purchase order table. And also foreign key for this one was product ID, reference product ID table. So the last one was product. It will have a content data like product ID, product name, HSN code, and product code. So the primary key for this one was the product ID. So overall, the relational model was correctly reflect from the ERD and maintain the third normal form, avoid from redundancy, emphasize all required one-to-many relationship using primary and foreign key. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Wachara. My matric number is 303631, and I will demo the MySQL database. Okay, this is our database. For the database name is purchase order, and we have 6 tables: delivery shipping address, delivery shipping information, info, purchase order, product, purchase order item, and supplier. For the first one, delivery shipping address, the attribute we have is DS address ID as a primary key, and supplier code as a foreign key, and postcode, address, city, delivery type. The data type is integer for the ID, supplier code Wacha, postcode Wacha, address Wacha, city Wacha, delivery type also Wacha. And the second table is delivery shipping information. We have 4 attribute and DS information ID as a primary key. Supplier code also has a foreign key, and GSTN delivery shipping email delivery shipping. Data type for ID is integer, supplier code wacha, and the GSTN delivery shipping wacha, email delivery wacha. And the third one is info purchase order. Here we have many attributes. The first one is PO number as a primary key, PO date, EWOC ref, fresh charge, payment terms detail, payment mode, subtotal, discount, grand total, and supplier code as a foreign key. And the data type is wacha, date, wacha, 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 decimal, 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 and wacha. Next is table product. For product, we have the product ID as an integer, a product code, wacha, product name, wacha, STN code, wacha. And next is purchase order items table, which we have a system as number as a primary key, and the data type is integer, quantity QT1 is integer as well. Rate is decimal, amount decimal, and text also decimal. For PO number, there's the primary key as a foreign key for this table. Product ID from the product, primary key from the product also be a foreign key here. And the last table is supplier. For supplier, we have supplier code as a primary key and using the wacha data type. Supplier name, wacha, supplier address also wacha, supplier city wacha, supplier postcode also wacha, supplier email wacha, and supplier GSTN also wacha. And then for the designer, here we all link. Here delivery shipping information and delivery shipping address link with the supplier. Then product link with the info purchase order. For purchase order also link with the supplier, and purchase order item link with the info purchase order. So that's all for me.